Hey guys, it's Paul Walker from the GH Spoilers YouTube channel. It is absolutely pouring rain here in New York today, but the storm outside is nothing compared to the absolute hurricane that just hit Port Charles. Today, we are talking about Nina and Willow getting arrested after Elizabeth caught them trying to literally take out Jack Brennan. Welcome back to the channel, let's dive in. Oh my god, I'm screaming. I literally cannot even deal right now. I am shaking as I type this because my brain is just short-circuiting from the sheer audacity of what just happened. I was literally eating my dinner like just a normal evening, having some pasta, and I actually choked. I had to pause the screen and text my best friend immediately because I was like, are you serious right now? I am so entirely emotionally invested in these fictional people that I feel like I need a therapist just to process this one episode. Okay, but listen, you guys know how chaotic things have been lately, but this takes the absolute cake. I am honestly so offended by their life choices right now, but also so thrilled because the drama is giving me everything I ever needed and more. The absolute unhinged behavior of Nina Reeves and Willow Kane is going down in the history books. Mark my words. This is the most insane thing they have ever done, and I am living for every single messy second of it. Oh wait, before that happened actually. Let me back up because I keep remembering things out of order and my brain is just moving too fast. I forgot to mention earlier, but we have to remember how we even got into this colossal mess in the first place. Remember when Nina accidentally stabbed Jack Brennan with Drew Kane's paralytic medicine? Which is insane, by the way, who just accidentally stabs a WSB agent with a highly classified muscle relaxer in the middle of a living room brawl. Only Nina Reeves, I swear. She was trying to hit Valentine Cassadine and missed, and Brennan went down like a sack of potatoes. So now Brennan is in General Hospital, temporarily paralyzed, and Valentine is freaking out. Nina is spiraling, which is her default state, honestly. But the stakes are so high, because if Brennan wakes up and realizes what happened, or if the WSB finds out, Nina is going to federal prison for a very, very long time. And she is dragging everyone down with her. And don't even get me started on Willow. She needs to get it together, I swear. Jen Sidwell literally summoned her and gave her the most terrifying ultimatum of her entire life. He basically looked her dead in the eye and said that her little deal with Brennan is completely useless now. Sidwell warned her that the moment Drew can communicate, she is done. Finished. Game over. So Willow is backed into a corner, terrified that Drew is going to wake up and spill all her dirty little secrets. And now she has Brennan lying in a hospital bed, who also knows way too much. So what do these two brilliant masterminds decide to do? Do they call a lawyer? Do they flee the country? No. They decide to sneak into General Hospital and finish the job. I literally cannot breathe. Why would they do that? Who thought this was a good idea? So anyway, they hatch this absolutely deranged plan to sneak into Brennan's recovery room. They get their hands on another syringe of that super powerful paralytic medicine. The same stuff that has been keeping Drew locked in his own body for months. They are going to inject it into Brennan's fort and basically silence him permanently, before he can wake up and ruin their lives and expose Valentine's secret. I am yelling at my screen at this point. I am literally standing up in my living room shouting, "Do not go in there." I'm watching a horror movie and the teenager is walking into the dark basement. But they don't listen to me, obviously, because they are on a mission. The sheer panic and desperation driving these two women is palpable. You can see it in their eyes. They aren't even thinking straight anymore. I literally cannot with the fire escape scene. They didn't even walk through the front door like normal people visiting a patient, no. They snuck around the back of the hospital and climbed up the fire escape like a couple of cat burglars in designer clothes. The audacity. Imagine Nina Reeves in her expensive heels trying to quietly pry open a hospital window. It's so dramatic and honestly a little bit hilarious if it wasn't so incredibly dark. They managed to slip into the hallway, dodging nurses and doctors, acting so suspiciously that anyone with half a brain would have spotted them immediately. But somehow, by the grace of the soap opera gods, they make it to Brennan's door without being stopped. They slip inside the dark recovery room and there he is. Jack Brennan, completely helpless, hooked up to all these machines, completely unaware that the Grim Reaper just walked in wearing a pantsuit. Okay, where was I? Right, so they're in the room, the lighting's super dramatic, all blue and shadowy, and the only sound is the steady beep 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 of the heart monitor. Willow has a syringe in her hand. She is shaking. Her hands are literally trembling so much I thought she was going to drop the needle on the floor. Nina is standing right behind her, acting as the lookout, whispering frantically for her to just do it and get it over with. Willow steps up to the IV line. She uncaps the needle. The camera does this crazy close-up on the sharp metal tip, and my jaw dropped. She is actually going to do it. Willow Kane, former sweet nurse, former teacher, is about to commit straight-up murder in a hospital bed. She presses the needle against the rubber port of the IV line. She is 1 second away from pushing the plunger and ending Jack Brennan's life. And then, oh my god, I'm dead. I actually stopped breathing. Just as Willow is applying pressure to the syringe, the door handle clicks. The door swings open, and who walks in? Elizabeth Baldwin. I'm screaming. Elizabeth walks in with her tablet, just doing her normal rounds, coming in to check Brennan's vitals. Because of course Liz is the most competent nurse in that entire building. I literally jumped off my couch. The timing was so insanely perfect. If Elizabeth had been even 3 seconds later, Brennan would be a goner. But she walks in, and the freeze frame of absolute horror on Willow and Nina's faces is something I will never, ever forget. It was iconic. It belongs in a museum. The sheer panic in that room was suffocating. Willow immediately yanks her hand back, trying to hide the syringe behind her back like a guilty toddler who just got caught stealing cookies. Nina gasps so loud I'm surprised she didn't set off an alarm. Elizabeth stops dead in her tracks. She looks at Nina. She looks at Willow. She looks at the IV line. You can literally see the gears turning in Elizabeth's head. Remember, Liz was already super suspicious about Brennan collapsing in the exact same house where Drew had his stroke just a few months ago. She already knew something shady was going on. And now she walks in to find these two women hovering over a paralyzed federal agent in the dark. Not okay. Not okay at all. Liz is not playing around. She immediately flips on the main overhead lights, blinding everyone in the room. Her voice is like ice. She demands to know what they are doing in there. Nina, who is literally the worst liar on the planet when she's under pressure, starts stammering out this completely nonsensical story about how they just wanted to check on their dear friend Jack. Elizabeth is not buying a single word of it. She steps closer and demands to see what Willow is hiding behind her back. Willow is frozen. She looks like a deer caught in the headlights of a Mack truck. Elizabeth doesn't even wait for an answer. She hits the emergency call button on the wall and yells for hospital security to get to the room immediately. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, security comes rushing in, like 3 big burly guards, and Elizabeth points right at Willow. She tells them to confiscate whatever is in her hand. One of the guards grabs Willow's arm, and the syringe clatters to the floor. Elizabeth picks it up with a gloved hand and looks at it. She tells security that this medication is absolutely not on Brennan's chart. It's not in the hospital's medical inventory for this floor. It's a completely unauthorized, highly dangerous substance. Nina is hyperventilating at this point. She tries to blame it on a terrible mistake, saying they found it in the hallway and were just bringing it to the nurse's station. I literally laughed out loud at my screen. The worst excuse in the history of excuses, but Elizabeth is 10 steps ahead. She tells security to pull the hallway cameras immediately. And guess what? The cameras show exactly what happened. They show Nina and Willow completely bypassing the front desk, sneaking in through the fire escape doors and creeping down the hallway looking over their shoulders. There is zero doubt. They broke into the hospital and attempted to inject a patient with an unknown substance. The evidence is airtight. Elizabeth looks at them with this expression of pure disgust and disappointment, and honestly I was cheering for Liz so hard in that moment. She completely dismantled their entire criminal operation in less than 5 minutes. Then, because the universe loves maximum drama, Dante Falconeri arrives on the scene. Dante is already completely on edge and furious about all the secrets Lulu and Cassius have been keeping about Rocco shooting Ross Cullum. He is in no mood for any nonsense. He walks into that hospital room, takes one look at the syringe in the evidence bag, looks at the security footage on the guard's tablet, and his face turns to stone. He looks at Willow and Nina. He doesn't even hesitate. He pulls out his handcuffs. I was like, are you serious? He is actually arresting them right here, right now. Dante reads them their Miranda rights in this booming, authoritative voice that echoed down the entire hospital corridor. You have the right to remain silent. Oh, if only they had remained silent weeks ago. He cuffs Nina first. She is sobbing, begging Dante to listen to her, crying about how it's all a big misunderstanding and she just wanted to protect her family. Dante ignores her. Then he turns to Willow. Willow is just numb. She holds out her wrists, tears streaming down her face. Completely broken, she knows it's over. Sidwell's threat, Drew's secret, Valentine's mess, it all just crashed down on her head in the span of 10 minutes. The perp walk through General Hospital was the most humiliating, insane, iconic thing I have ever witnessed. Dante marches them out of the room and down the main hallway. The entire hospital staff is there. Doctors, nurses, patients, everyone is just staring in absolute shock. Portia is standing by the nurse's station with her jaw on the floor. Lucas is watching from the corner, completely stunned. These are two of the most prominent women in Port Charles, a wealthy magazine editor and a former nurse married into the Corinthos family, being let out in handcuffs like common street criminals. The whispers, the pointing, the sheer scandal of it all, I was eating it up. I literally could not look away. I'm calling it now, this is going to end badly for everyone involved. Mark my words. The fallout from this is going to be nuclear. What is Michael going to do when he finds out his wife was arrested for attempted murder? What is Valentine going to do now that Nina has completely botched the cover-up? And what happens when Jack Brennan finally wakes up and realizes they tried to permanently silence him? I am so stressed out, but I am so incredibly ready for the next episode. I honestly don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. My adrenaline is through the roof. They need to get it together, I swear. But until they do, I will be right here watching every single unhinged second. Okay, I need to go drink some water and calm down. See you guys in the next video.